I know. Here we go. All right. So today we are going to go over the notes that you have in front of you. If you are online, I have the notes posted right here. Maybe you want to quickly print them off or split screen so you can do Cami with us. We're not going to solve them, but we are going to practice setting them up. And then you have the rest of the time, if you are all caught up, to finish the video and then whatchamacallit. And then you have a 5-question Schoology assignment, just 5 questions. If I gave you a bunch of missing assignments to do, that is your priority, okay? Getting those done in class first, and then you can do the 5-question Schoology assignments later. I just want to make sure that all of us are, I guess, doing the missings first because a bunch of them are tests too. So I want to make sure that you're doing okay with that, okay? If you are online, please make sure that you don't forget to take attendance because I know that some of you are forgetting, and I don't want to have to mark you absent if you're actually here. I want to give you where credit is due, okay? So take a look at this paper you have in front of you, or do Cami, okay, if you're online, and let's fill it out together, okay? So we have all of these symbols right here. I would say this one, can someone raise their hand if they know, what is this one called? What do you think? Brooke? Sorry, I totally just blanked out on your name. Oh my gosh. Brooke? Not Brooke.
It is Brooke.
Brooke, it is Brooke.
Oh, you
didn't say anything, Brooke. Or did you say something I didn't hear you? Oh, thank you, Aaron. You have to be my ears, okay? The mask thing is totally like, I'm sorry. And then I looked at you, and then you were just looking at me, and I'm like, I think her name is Brooke, but I guess it's not Brooke, and I started internally freaking out. Thank you, Brooke. It is less than. Okay, so let's write that down. Less than. This symbol means less than. So if this is less than, can someone raise their hand and tell us this one, which is the exact opposite, what would this one be? Jema? Yes, or you can say more than. Either one is fine. So greater than, or you can say more than. Same thing. Okay, wait. If this is more than, then there's going to be one that sounds opposite of that. What is opposite of more than? Like, so what's like the opposite word of more? Brooke? Yeah, I guess I would think less than more. Okay, so how about this? Smaller than, yes, normally people don't say smaller than, but you would, I mean, that is smaller than. How about fewer than? So I know there's a bunch of different options, but I'm just trying to give you the ones that you're going to see most in math, most common in math. Okay, now yesterday we had one problem with this line underneath. So I know that this is less than, but then what does the line tell us? Less than, Hannah? Yes, or equal to, So that line underneath says that it can also be equal to that, less than or equal to. Okay, so if this is less than or equal to, then this one would be called, Taylor? More than or equal to. I'm just going to write greater than. You're going to hear that more often. Greater than or equal to. Okay. If you are less than or equal to, that means that you can't have any more of that. So you can also see the word at most. So you have at most $10 or whatever the problem says. Okay, so what is the opposite of at most? Brooke? Yeah, at least. Okay, finish writing that down. We are going to practice writing them. And then for, like, after we finish this, before you do your 5-question Schoology assignment, you can finish the video by solving it. So don't, like, take up the entire space here because you're going to still need space to solve it. We're just not going to take the time to solve it right now. I would rather have us practice writing it, okay? So here's the problem. It says 2/5 of a number is greater than. So 2/5, isn't that a fraction? 2/5. So this is 2/5. So don't write it right in the middle because you're still going to need room to solve it. Okay, and that you can do that with the video. So 2/5 of a number. How do I write, like, what does that mean of a number, Taylor? Yeah, just x. 2/5 x. Of means multiply. So it's 2/5 x of a number is greater than, oh, shoot, greater than. Okay, greater than is right here. It looks like the alligator's eating to the left. So it's eating the 2/5 x. Is greater than 2 times the number minus 8. 2 times the number minus 8. Larson, what do you think? Perfect, 2x minus 8. So at this point, you would draw your line. You have x's on both sides. You would move one of them over, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we're going to do that for the video. So you're going to watch that by yourself. Okay, I want to move on. I feel like setting up the problems is much more difficult than actually solving them. Okay, so let's do this one. 3 times a number plus 5. Someone that has not spoken yet. What does that look like? 3 times a number plus 5. Sophia?
3x plus 5.
Yeah. Okay, and again, can you just write up here because you're going to need all the room down there to solve. So 3x plus 5. So 3 times a number is 3 times, I don't know, so you write x. So 3 times x, which is just 3x plus 5, is less than or equal to. Okay, less than or equal to. Oh, I see it right there. So it looks like it's this symbol. So that's what I'm going to copy down. Less than or equal to 3/4 of the number. How do I write 3/4 of a number? Hannah, what do you think?
3/4.
Yeah, that's it. 3/4 is just 3/4, a fraction of a number. Of always means multiply, so it's just x. Okay, then you would draw your line, solve, move your x's around, blah, 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 blah. You'll do that later on the video by yourself. Okay, so finish writing that down, then let's do the bottom word problem. This one just says write them, so we aren't actually going to solve them, but we're just going to practice writing them. Okay. So for these, as you may have noticed, I really like using different colors because I feel like it helps me separate between like what I'm comparing because it's a lot of words and it's just a lot, I feel like. So where's my yellow? Come on, there it is. There you are. Okay, so what am I comparing here? All right, so if you're online, you're probably doing this on Cami if you don't have this printed out, okay? So a large water bottle has 16.5 fluid ounces of water in it. It is leaking. Oh, leaking. That tells you if it's a plus or a minus. Leaking at a rate of 0.15 fluid ounces per hour. Okay. Now I have a smaller water bottle has 8.45 fluid ounces of water in it, and it is leaking. Leaking tells you if it's plus or minus at a rate of 0.05 fluid ounces per hour. How many hours? I don't know. So when will there be less water in the larger bottle? So less water in the larger bottle. Okay, so what am I comparing? I'm comparing the large water bottle, which I'm going to write as L, and that's in yellow. And then I have the smaller one that I highlighted in pink. Okay, less water in the larger bottle. So less water in the larger bottle. So who is the alligator eating? Brooke? Yeah, if larger is less, that means smaller is bigger, right? If there's less in the larger, that means there's more in the smaller. I know that doesn't really make sense. But there's more in the smaller, and the alligator always wants to eat the one that has more, so you write it like this. Okay. Let's see if we can remember how to set this stuff up. 16.5, leaking, think about what leaking means, 0.15 per hour. Larson, what do you think?
16.5 minus 0.15x.
Perfect. 16.5, that's what you have. Leaking. Leaking means you're losing, so you're minusing 0.15x. Good. Okay, let's do the smaller one. 8.45, leaking 0.05 per hour. Someone that has not spoken yet, do you think? Okay, Taylor, go for it.
8.45 minus 0.05.
Good. 8.45 leaking. Leaking means minus 0.05x. How many per hour? Now remember, we said here you would technically draw your line, move your x's, blah, blah, blah. I hope you know how to do that a little bit more. I just want us to practice writing it because that's the harder part. Okay? All right. Let's do the next one. Question, Brooke? No, because it just says write. So you're just writing. This one says write and then solve. So in the video today, you're just going to finish that part. But when it just says write, just write it. Okay. You earn $15.25 an hour. How many hours? I don't know. Your brother, oh, so I'm comparing you and your brother, it sounds like. Your brother earns $10.25 an hour. Okay, now we're back to you. So I'm going to go back to my pink because it's back to you. You pay, pay. Think about what that means. You're paying someone money. You pay $30 a week for lunches and your brother pays $15 a week. If both of you work the same number of hours in a week, how many hours do you have to work so that the amount of money you have is greater? You have is greater. You have is greater. So that's where your inequality is. That tells you you are bigger. You are better, obviously, than your brother. Okay. So here's you, and here's your bro. Or should I say my bruh? Okay. So I have you, which I highlighted in pink, bruh, who is highlighted in yellow. This one is hard, but let's do the symbol first. You have is greater. You are greater. So if you are greater, Valeria, who is the alligator eating? Yeah, so the alligator's eating you because you're greater. Okay, this one is super tricky. You earn $15.25 an hour. How many hours? I don't know. But you pay $30 a week. How many weeks? I don't know. So this is one of those things where you're like, well, is this an X or is this an X? Because this is an hour. This is a week. But only one of them can have an X. So think about what I said to you a couple days ago, and that might help you figure out where your X belongs. Savannah, what do you think?
15.25x minus 30.
I'm sorry, 15.25x, then what?
15.25x minus 30.
Yes. Okay, so Savannah, why did you put the X with the 15 and not the 30?
Because it says per hour.
But this one says per week.
Because you have to, I don't know.
So you're right, Savannah, you're totally right. But we
I don't know, because like you pay 30 a week, so if it's minus, like I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay. J-Mo, what do you think?
Because it's smaller.
Because it's smaller. So remember how I said if you're running into the issue where you're like an hour, a week, which one is the X one? Always do the one that's smaller. So which one is smaller, an hour or a week? An hour is smaller than if I were to measure a week. That's why the hour is where you put the X. Normally, you always want to say like which one is the smaller one. Okay. So hopefully what Savannah said gives you a hint as to the yellow one then. $10.25 an hour, and you're paying 15 a week. Larson?
10.25 minus 15.
Perfect. And then you would draw your line, you would move your X's, blah, 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 blah. But right now we're just practicing how to write it, okay? I feel like that's the hardest part. We've been doing the solving part for so long that maybe you have a better idea how to do that. Hopefully. Okay. Backside. Shania and Tamara work for different shoe stores. Shania earns a weekly salary of $400 plus a 2% commission on sales. Tamara earns a weekly salary of $300 plus a 10% commission on sales. What amount of sales will Tamara earn more? Tamara earns more. Tamara earns more. So I am comparing Shania and Tamara. And we said Shania was in yellow, Tamara was in pink. Tamara earns more. All right, Aaron, if Tamara earns more, who is the alligator eating?
Tamara?
Yes, because Tamara is more. If she is more, she is bigger. If she is bigger, then the alligator always wants to eat the bigger one. Okay, so to understand how to write this, maybe we need to know what commission is. Okay, so this is what commission is. Normally, when you go to HEB, there are people at HEB that make money, right? Because they work there. So that they make maybe, I don't know, $10 an hour, whatever they make. I have no idea. Or Starbucks, they make, $10 an hour. That's how much they make per hour. Doesn't matter that they sold 10 drinks in an hour or whether they sold a million drinks in an hour. They're still going to make $10 an hour. Now, there are other people who sell things like diamonds and cars and houses that are like hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Not everyone just walks into, a jewelry shop and be like, yeah, give me 15 diamonds here because I can afford all that. There's not very many people that do that. Or like, hey, let me buy 7 cars today. So those people who sell the diamonds and the cars and the houses, they don't get as many people that they see every day to sell things to because the things are so expensive. So those people normally work on something called commission. Okay, so they would say like for every car you sell, maybe you earn 1% commission. So let's say your car is $20,000. And if you earn 1% commission, that's 0.01. So every car you sell, you earn an extra $200 on top of like your $10 an hour or whatever, right? People like the owners of these car dealerships, of these jewelry stores, they want to sell a bunch of their things because they want to make lots and lots of money. But that means that they need good salespeople that can, schmooze you. And so that's why they work off a commission. Or like, let's say you have a house. Let's say your house is $300,000. Okay. And then your realtor who helps you buy or sell the house, let's say they earn 3% commission. So 3% off of $300,000 is $9,000. So they sell one house and they earn an extra $9,000. That's amazing. But how many houses do you think a realtor is going to sell in a year? Who knows, right? If they're really good, maybe they'll sell like 20 houses in a year. But if they're not so good, then maybe they can only sell one house in a year. Who knows? But that's what it means to work off of commission. Okay. You get your normal like $10 an hour or whatever, but you also get the extra bonus for selling more. The more you sell, the more money you get extra. All right. So does anyone think they know how to write this? 400 plus a 2% is percent commission. Larson, do you think you know?
400 plus 200.
So close. So close. So close. Brooke? Okay, so remember how probably a long time ago your teachers told you whenever you work with percents, you always have to change them to decimals. So 2 is 2 point, and you change it to a decimal, you always bump it backwards too. So it's actually 0.02. Okay, so you were so close. So just change it to a decimal. That's all. Yes, Brooke? Ah, you are amazing. Yes, I didn't even read that. More than or the same. Or the same is or equal to. Brooke, what would I do? Yeah. What would I do without you in my life? I would fail. All right. Let's do the pink one. 300 plus a 10% commission. How does that look? 300 plus a 10% commission. Someone other than Brooke. Aaron, go.
300 plus 0.10.
Perfect. And then what?
X.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. All right. We're going to do one more. Okay. And then you're just going to finish the other 3 on your video. Okay. Just practice writing them. You don't have to solve them. Okay. This one, last one, because it's a table, and sometimes tables look hard, but they're really not that bad. I don't even have to read all of this yet, because look, I have this pipeline company, so it looks like they are $32.50 hourly rate, so it's per hour, and then you always just get charged $25 because it's a fixed charge. Fixed means it doesn't change. It's just $25 and then $32.50 per hour. And then you have down the drain, which is $22.50 per hour and then 50. So we're comparing the yellow with the pink. This is pipeline. This is down the drain. And you want pipeline to charge greater. Pipeline charge is greater. Pipeline charge is greater. So if pipeline charge is greater than J, who does the alligator eat? If pipeline charge is greater. What did you say? Yeah, because pipeline is greater. Greater means bigger. Okay. Pipeline. Does anyone think they know the numbers with the X's and the pluses and the minuses? What does that look like? Jama?
33, 50, plus 25, X, 49. 32, 50, X, 425.
Yeah, there's an X after 32.50 because it's per hour, hourly rate. All right, down the drain. Last one. Okay, Jama, go for it.
22, 50, X, plus 50.
Perfect. You really don't need the 50 point dot dot, 25 point dot dot, because it's just 0.00, right? So you really don't need the extra zeros at the end. Okay, so at this time,